Sam Zircon, aka Zircon Sam. You're now watching Mind Power composition by the man Ringz Ov Saturn. Musical influences are, I don't know, it changes like whatever mood I'm in, I think. But like for samples and stuff, I kind of try and find like the moodiest shit, which for some reason makes me happier than making happy shit. I don't know why that is. I don't know. But stuff I sort of listen to, like I've been listening to recently, like Bisque and Slum Rock, the whole blah lot, like American stuff, like Hustler Kingpin, Rock Marciano, Bronson, Purist. I'm listening to a lot of his stuff, like he's sick. Some Guy stuff, like Cult Mountain thing, Trelly and a Sniff. This isn't like necessarily like influences though, it's more like stuff I've been listening to. But proper influences over the years, like it's like bait ones like Nas and like Pete Rock and stuff like that. That sort of like I heard that and I was like, yeah, I want to kind of make beats. And then like the UK stuff like Jest and Task Force, like that was sort of like when I was like, oh okay, I didn't know people over here did it that much, because I didn't really have much access to it. I lived in like the middle of nowhere, like one shop in the next town that sold some hip hop stuff. My background for music, like mum and dad didn't really listen to much music. It was kind of just through like when I went to secondary school, like all the guys, all like the cool kids at the back of the bus listened to happy hardcore, so I was like, yeah, I want to go get some happy hardcore, and I actually liked it back then. And it was like they showed me some other stuff like drum and bass and everything, and I sort of got into that. So yeah, I kind of like got into music trying to be cool. But then yeah, I love it now, do you know what I mean? It's like I couldn't not do it. But then it went from like drum and bass to like well, it was like happy hardcore, then it was like a bit of trance and stuff, and then it was like drum and bass and garage, and then grime came into it, and I was like, that's what I always wanted to hear when I was listening to garage. Then I heard grime, and then that was it. That's all I listened to for years. Like I got like a load of Sidewinder CDs and stuff that I used to be able to get from the town, like my next town. And yeah, and then it was like Dizzy's first album when that came out. That was like I just wanted to make that music, but I didn't have a fucking clue how to do it. And then I started to listen to hip hop a bit more. I still listen to grime like a lot, but like hip hop's now, it's like that's kind of what I love doing and what I really like listening to. But then I tend to find if I just listen to hip hop, or if I just listen to a certain style of hip hop or a certain type of hip hop, then I'm making that sort of style of hip hop, then it just ends up becoming this like stale, like just repeating stuff and just making the same old shit. Whereas if I just all I listen to is sort of like samples and a different genre like dub or reggae. First productive musical item, and what was it? My first productive musical item I think was EJ Hip Hop 4 from Toys R Us on my mum and dad's PC, which was the slowest thing. I think it was called like an A-up or something. But I had it on there, and it was just loops of stuff, and you dragged it into this like interface, like a range window. You dragged it in, and it just all worked. So I was like, this is easy. I can make some well good stuff with this. And then I got Fruity Loops, and I realised it was a bit more difficult than EJ, and I kind of sacked it off for a bit. I was like, I can't be bothered. This is just going to take me forever. So I didn't do anything for ages. And then I got some decks when I was like 13 and started mixing like drum and bass and stuff, and well, tried to mix drum and bass and stuff like that. I just didn't have a fucking clue what I was doing for years. And then my friend at college, Ben, showed me how to mix properly. And then yeah, that kind of, I was just mixed drum and bass for ages. And then, so I got my decks when I was like 13. And then I tried to make some stuff on Music 2000 on the PlayStation as well. But again, I was like, oh, this is going to take me forever, I don't know what I'm doing. And then I went to college, and they had Reason. and then they were showing us how to make music on Reason, and I'm mad lazy. Well, I used to be. I'm a bit better now. I used to be really lazy with learning stuff. So I was like, the only way I'm going to figure this out is if I go to college and someone shows me. None of my friends made music, or like no one I grew up with made music. So then it was like, so I learned from this guy called Mark Clifton, this guy called Rhyme Schemes from Oxford. Like he showed me how to put like just a drum beat together, like a 4/4 drum beat. So it was like, put the kick on the 1 and the 3 and the snare on the 2 and the 4, and then the hi-hats wherever you want to put them, sort of thing. And I was like, whoa, sick. So it actually sounds like a beat now. So yeah, I kind of took it from there really, and then like got like a cracked copy of Reason on my mum's PC at home with one speaker. So there's no stereo, it was just one speaker underneath the screen. And then I got like somehow blagged like a student loan when I was at college. I don't know how I did it. And then I'm paying back for it now though, it's horrible. And I got like a MPC 2000. So I was watching stuff on YouTube, like how to make beats and how to make hip hop beats. And these things kept coming up, MPCs kept coming up. I was like, right, that's got all the sounds on. That's got like everything I'm ever gonna need to make a beat. So I bought one off eBay with this money from the student loan. It came, and I turned it on, I didn't have a fucking clue what it was. I turned it on, plugged the like audio cables in and everything, jacks in at the back, and then I turned it on and there was no sounds on there, and I assumed that all the sounds that these people were making, and like Pete Rock was making and Premier was making, I assumed they'd all be on this sampler. And yeah, that ruined me for a bit. They weren't all on there, and I was like, shit, how do I do this and what have I got to do? And then I found out about samples and records and stuff like that, because I'd had decks for a while and stuff. So it was like, okay, I know how to use my decks, I know records and stuff, but I didn't make the connection that that's how beats were made. So I started buying just shit records from this shop called Record Savings in Banbury, and they had this bit upstairs where you could get like pound records and 50p records, and I just, anything that looked alright I would just sort of buy. And yeah, so I sort of figured it out with that, and then that was like, that's pretty much all I did for years, was just try and make beats on this MPC 2000. Then I learnt it, and I was like, right, okay, sort of my mentality of I can't be bothered, it's too hard to learn it, was turned into like, okay, if I actually put my mind to it and want to do it, put a bit of effort into it and it will work, sort of thing. But yeah, the MPC 2000 was like the first thing I sort of got serious with. Okay, how steep was the learning curve? The learning curve was incredibly steep. It was like, it took me forever to figure out how to use it. Obviously, with YouTube, I could go on and be like, how to use this sort of thing, but there wasn't that much on there at the time. But then I think I found one video, and I don't even think I did. I think I just figured it out myself. Like, I didn't know you could chop stuff. I didn't know you could record something in and chop into multiples on it. I just thought you had to record the one sound in, put that onto a pad, and then go from there, really. I kind of erased this all from my memory, because it was a horrible time to figure it all out. But yeah, it took a while. But once I got it, and once I started to get the hang of it, it was like, oh, okay. It was a lot of different way to making beats on Reason, because you can see a lot of it. Whereas this one, you've got like a tiny like calculator screen. It's better than a lot of things. But at least you can see the waveform and stuff. Yeah, it took a while, but then, like I said, once I got used to it, it was like I was learning a few more things here and there, and then like with everything, it just takes time to learn, and you can, once you've learned it, it's like you can, I'm not saying you can I've mastered it, but like I know how to use it by like the back of my hand now, although I don't even have one anymore. But yeah, it took a while, but I think I got it. Do I still own it? I don't still own it, sadly. I think Parky's got the motherboard in his 2000, if he's even got a 2000 in my that's what, because Jazzcat took it off me, because it was just battered, but the motherboard was alright, so I think he put that in Parky's one. But yeah, I don't have it anymore. Do you know what? I want to get one again though, because I keep swapping samplers with Jazzcat, and I'm like, oh, it's like, I holler at him like once every 6 months and be like, oh yeah, do you want to swap a sampler? But no, I'm going to try and get one again one day, but yeah, it's like a sentimental thing, I guess, just like, I've got the 2000 back. No, sadly I don't have it anymore. do I feel like it was the best equipment to get me kick-started? Yeah, I think it was. The MPC 2000 was the best thing to get me sort of started on it, because I had to spend a lot of time with it to figure out how it works, whereas not saying you don't with Reason, obviously, because that's obviously you do with that, but for me I was like, right, yeah, I want to learn how to use this, because my eyes are shit, so I was like, I can't stare at a computer screen for so long. It's a bit better now, so I was like, alright, I get the smaller one, so I haven't got to look at it so much, the smaller screen on a 2000. But yeah, I think it helped a lot. Like I said, I had to stick with it a lot and be dedicated to using it. Like, there was times where I was like, oh, I just get so frustrated with it, but it was me because I didn't know how to use it, innit? But once I got there, it was well fun. Proper liked it. Still do like it now. I don't have one anymore. Which equipment does one use nowadays and why? Do you know what? I'm using Logic a lot at the minute, just because I haven't got much time to do stuff recently. So I've been like, right, I just want to learn Logic a bit, just because it's quite quick. Obviously, I'm not just sacrificing I'm not trying to sacrifice any sounds or whatever, but I like using Logic as well, because it's quite visual and you can see where everything's going and everything like that. But I still use my EPS and my 60, but I'm never going to get rid of them. I think like it's really nice to, like, today when Ringz come over, I was like, oh, I want to use the 60 and the EPS again. I was like, yeah, I forgot how fun it was for a bit, so I've just been using Logic. But yeah, like a combination of other stuff, like I've got tape machines and like vinyl and my turntable for cutting and stuff. I'm not really that great at cutting, but do a little bit. But yeah, just kind of whatever I want to use at the time, I'm just kind of used to. I don't want to get anything else though. I think this is it. I don't want to have like loads of equipment and loads of keyboards and stuff, because then I feel like I have to use it all. You know, I think like it'll put me off a little bit. So I've got a few things here and there I can use, and I'm cool with that. What equipment have I used over the years? I've used a lot of stuff, like Reason on a PC and Fruity Loops on the PC and Logic on Mac and MPCs and like S950, EPS 16 plus. But yeah, I've used quite a lot of stuff actually. I had a 3000 as well for a bit, but like I said before, I think my favourite is always going to be the 2000, and like I'm really enjoying using Logic at the minute. But I like using it with my samplers and stuff, trying to get the sound from them, because you can't, like, you can get plugins and stuff that can sort of do what like the EPS and stuff like that can do, but it's never like the same, because they're old and used and a bit rusty. So it's quite nice to fuck about with them as well. Prefer hardware or software, and why? I don't really care, you know. Like if it sounds good on software, it sounds good on software. If it sounds good on hardware, it sounds good on hardware. But I'm not gonna judge anyone in any way if they don't have a certain piece of equipment, or they do have a certain piece of equipment. Like I used to always try and be like, oh no, I'm only gonna use my samplers and nothing else. But then whatever, and if it sounds good on whatever you're using, if it sounds good in a fucking tin can, use a tin can. But like I said, I like using Logic at the minute, but whatever. Go back to some favourite brand of musical equipment and why? I don't know really. Like, I really like Yamaha. My speakers, they're really good. Like the HS50Ms. Hold on, let me move these delicious pieces of garment. These ones, they're sick. Like, I really like them. I had like some JBL like room DJ speakers for years, and I was trying to mix down on them and I never could, and then I got some money, got these, and they were like, you could hear everything. I was like, sweet, you can hear like the high end, the low end. The low end's not amazing on them, but it's enough for what I need to do. But it just sort of put everything into a place, and like I found if it sounded good on these, it sounded good in the car, like in headphones, like on sort of normal hi-fis, even on the TV and stuff. Like if you put it in the DVD player and listen to it on there, it sounded good. With the samplers, like Akai's really good. The Ensoniq samplers are really good. But yeah, the only thing I haven't used is actually I have used once. Well, I've seen one in action at Mr. Brown's house, the SP1200, and I was like, yeah, like, I would like to get one day, but I can't afford it. Like the amount of money they go for. I suppose it's because it's quite hard to come by now, but I just couldn't justify paying that much money for one. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, everything has their own. Like everything has their own quality to it. Like even like stuff like Behringer. Like I'd never really buy any Behringer stuff. I think that's how you say it. But they had these speakers called the True, I think they were. Anyway, some Behringer monitor speakers. And my friend had some, and I heard them, and I was like, because he was like, oh, have you got some new Behringer things? I was like, nah, where'd you get them? And I heard them, and I was like, wow, they're pretty good actually. And the way they sound as well, they're really good quality for referencing on, for it to sound good on everything as well. But I don't know, whatever you like using, just use that. What musical equipment would one recommend to a beginner and why? I don't really know what to recommend. I think it all depends on not what type of person you are, but what stuff you want to make. Or I would say just get, like, if you can, just get a MacBook and Logic or something like that. Or if you want to, I don't know really, whatever you feel comfortable with. I mean, try out stuff. Maybe if you go to like a friend's house or someone you know with some musical equipment, like try that out. I mean, there's even like, you could probably even just get a gist of it from YouTube now, and like forums and stuff. Like I'd have a look on YouTube and be like, I don't know, you can type in something bait like what equipment to use to make beats or something. It'll always come up with a list of stuff, and then you can go from there and have a look at some MPC videos or SP1200 videos or Logic videos or machine videos and stuff like that. I think yeah, just maybe do some research and sort of figure out what would be best for you, what you're gonna want to portray and stuff, and how you're gonna want to do it. So yeah, just do a bit of research maybe. Why did I choose software over hardware or vice versa? I started with software, like just messing around, and then went to hardware, and then stayed on that for years and years. But then I would record into my computer and do the mix downs and stuff in the computer. So I kind of use both all the time. But like I was saying, like now I'm been using Logic a lot more, just because of the ease of use of it and how quick you can work with it and stuff. But I haven't really chosen any over the other. It's just got to sort of keep your mind open with it, and whatever you want to use that day or whatever sound you want to do, just sort of whatever you're feeling, just do what you want to do with it really. My views on sampling. I love sampling. Like I can't play anything. I can play a little bit of bass line on the older QWERTY keyboard, but I can't, like, I'm not classically trained in anything. I don't know how to read music, but I just kind of blag my way through it really, like sampling cool shit. But yeah, I love sampling. Like, I think obviously some people don't like sampling, it's cool, whatever, but I think I wouldn't really be making music if I couldn't sample, because I'm a bit shit with learning an instrument. One day I'd like to, but not yet. I'll enjoy taking other people's stuff and making weird shit with it. I think that's cool at the minute. Which genre of music do I find myself sampling the most, and why? At the minute, like, I've been trying to find a lot sort of more abstract stuff, just because I've sampled like a lot of soul and sort of stuff like that, and not that I'm bored of it, but it's just like I kind of wanted to try and find some weirder stuff that I could experiment with. Like I was saying earlier, like stuff that it's hardly even musical. Like there'll be a few weird notes in it and stuff like that, but I find it at the minute, like, I find that really interesting, like just weird, like old sort of Polish stuff, and yeah, just some strange things, whatever I can find really. But I tend to find if you get in that mood of like, right, I want to try and find this stuff, or go to a record shop and go to a certain section that you don't really go to, and then just go through it, have a listen and see what you can find. Even on the internet, like just have a little search for whatever some sort of different stuff you want to find. You get on this little journey of discovering all this weird music that you never knew about before, and it's quite interesting. Like even just sort of, then you get to like listening to like certain composers of this music, and then you get more familiar with them, and then it's like people who play stuff in their bands or their engineers and stuff. You can sort of go on this tangent of like madness. But yeah, I don't know, it's weird stuff really. Do I share my sample info with people or keep it on the hush hush LOL? Don't like sharing samples because I'm a bit selfish with them, I think. Even like my closest friends and yeah, I'm a bit selfish with them, I think. Just because I've like, you know what I mean, I've taken that bit of time out to find it, and I'm like, I don't want to show anyone where I got this from, because they might go there and get them all and then make beats of them. And now I'm a bit like drums. I'll be like, oh yeah, check these breaks out and stuff. I'll rarely give them to anyone, I think, just because, yeah, like I said, it's taken me a while to find these things. So a bit 50-50 with that one, really. More towards the no side of things. How do I acquire my samples nowadays? Recently, I've just been sort of getting a lot of stuff online, finding a lot of stuff online, because I ain't got no money, so I can't afford any records at the minute. But before, like, I'd always buy records. I've got a load of records. I still sample a lot of my records, but I've been trying to find a lot of weirder stuff online at the minute, and it's so expensive I can't afford to buy it, so I've been a bit cheeky and just jacked it offline. Jacked it off the internet, let's say that. But yeah, I don't know, I don't really mind either. Like, I've got like loads of old garage records and stuff, and like loads of old, just like shit record, not shit, like just sort of old shit that I've had over the years, and like gone into like a load of record stores in West, and they've had like stacks of like 100 old trance records for like £5, and I just feel like, yeah, cool, I'll buy them. And there's so many sounds in them, like open sounds. You're never going to go in a shop and be like, yeah, I want that, because it just looks awful. But I've got a load of stuff like that that's got like some weird breaks, not breaks, but like weird open like bridges and stuff, where it's these mad roads and stuff like that. So I mean, vinyl's like, you're always gonna come across stuff that you're not looking for, whereas if you do it online, you're searching for, well, I suppose it depends who you are really. Like when I buy vinyl, I'll end up buying shit that I didn't think I was gonna get, just because I was like, oh, what's this, it looks cool, or it's like been mad cheap for a load of stuff, so I just be like, yeah, I'll just get it. So, but I tend to find when I'm looking for stuff online, I have a certain thing in mind, and it's like, if I can't find it, it takes a while to find something that I'm actually looking for. But yeah, both really, whatever works. My favourite sampler and software, and why. My favourite sampler is, I like the EPS at the minute, but like the 2000, I really like the 2000. And the 950, I had a 950 for a while, that was really good. And software, my favourite software is like Logic. I've always, apart from Audacity and Reason and Fruity Loops and Music 2000, which I was using years ago, but like Logic was sort of the thing I proper learnt on. This guy called Matt DePone, I think his name's Libra now, he makes music still, but he showed me when I was at uni like how to properly use Logic and like bus stuff and mix stuff down properly. Like he showed me how to do it his way. I've got my own way now, but he sort of pushed me in the right direction. But yeah, so yeah, I think Logic and Akai stuff and Sonic EPS, they're my favourite. Would I focus more on samples or drums when making a tune? Which is more essential? I used to mainly just focus on drums. Like, I just thought, right, if your drums are banging, then it doesn't really matter too much what the sample is. But now I'll try and make them mould as best as I can. So if I do the drums first, then I'll try and find a sample to fit the style of drums I've chopped or the style of drums I've used, and then like vice versa. If I've got a sample, then obviously you don't just want to put any old drums of it, you try and make something that sounds whole, like in one box sort of thing. So yeah, I think mainly now I sort of start with the sample and be like, right, what drums can I use that are gonna really fit with this and make it complete, sort of thing. But I think it all depends on what you're trying to do, really. Best MPC, current and past. Like I was saying, I think for me, my favourite MPC is the 2000, just because I learnt on it, and that was like the first thing I proper got to grips with. I don't know, I don't think I can really say I don't think I've got the right to say what the best MPC is. I like the 60, but I hate fucking using it because it's mad complicated compared to the 2000. That's why I've just got it midied with the EPS. But it sounds cool, like it sounds good. I had a 3000 for a bit as well, and that sounded like exactly what you'd put into it, but again, it was like, I found it a little bit too complicated. I'm quite simple-minded with technology. But I learned the EPS, and I thought, for me, I think the EPS is the one. But I would say, if I had to just choose an MPC, it would be the 2000, because that's what I learned. Best current MPC, I don't really know, you know, I haven't really used any. I know one of my good friends, Samaya, like, he's got a 2500, and he smashes it to pieces. Like, he'll kill it, and he sounds good on it. So I guess, but that's him though, isn't it? That's not the MPC. I don't know. I think a lot of people use the 2500 though. The 1000 is supposed to be good, but I've heard a few dodgy things about the pads and stuff. But I can't really say. I haven't really owned one, so I don't know. Two favourite instruments and why are drums and bass, because I think without drums and bass, it's, I don't know, it gets a little bit not boring, because you can have tunes about drums and bass. But I think they're a good solid backbone to the tune, which will keep it going for a while. Can I play any musical instruments? If so, which? No, I can't. I'm fucking useless at playing instruments. I can play a little bit of bass, not bass guitar as in like pressing a few letters on my keyboard, but no, I can't really play any instruments. I'd like to, but I can't. If I could learn to play any instruments, which would they be and why? I think I'd learn to play the one-man band instrument, because then no one could mess with you. You'd just be like, "You alright, mate? Can you play any instruments?" And you'll just fucking do a whole tune on the spot without even going anywhere. Two producers I'd love to work with and why? Fuck, it's a difficult question here. People I know, Moriarty, some guy, I think, yeah, that would be sweet. That's like, and then maybe people I don't know. Pete Rock would be cool to yeah, that would be sick, just to like pick his brain about, he'd be cool to chat about like older stuff, I guess, and like how he sort of like came up, how he was doing things, and his work rate was crazy, how he did stuff. Rock Marciano, his beats are nuts. Like, he would be sweet to learn some stuff from. Purist as well. He's got like, I think he knows like every record ever made, from what I've been told. I don't know him, but I know people that know him, and they said, yeah, he's the record guy. Who else? I can't really think of anyone else. If I could handpick two MCs to work on something, who would they be? I'm going to say more than two. Bisc, Slumrock, Black Josh, Lee Scott, this guy Lee's got us a tune with this guy called Rhetoric Wallace from Philadelphia. He's sick. I've only heard like the tune I've done with him and another one tune, but he's sick. But I want to hear some more shit. I want to do some more stuff with him. Rock Marciano, Huss the Kingpin. What else I've been listening to? There's a guy who's just brought some stuff out on Blur called Danny Lover. Like, he's real sick. I like his stuff. It's real like slow. Geronimo, that would be ill to do some, I don't even know if he's still alive, but that would be cool to do some stuff with him. I love like all his old stuff, was sick. Top 3 producers and why, dead or alive. Whoever produced all the samples I've sampled, they're my favourite producers. People from UK, like some guy, Moriarty, Purist, Beat Butcher, people from US like Rock Marciano. I love. Who am I feeling now and why? I've been listening to a lot, like I always listen to grime, like always have that on my phone. Recently, like, I've got that Danny Lover thing that's just dropped on Blur. That's real sick. I like that. Listen to Lee a lot, Lee Scott, Black Josh, Children of the Damned stuff. But then it changes. Like, I don't know. It depends really what mood I'm in. Really, like American stuff, like this guy called Lil Ugly Mane. He's did some nut shit. But then I always listen to like the Pete Rock, like especially his remixes, like all Pete Rock's remixes. Like Finster Bundy. What else have I got? Listen to Mobb Deep, like always listen to that. But then like I tend to, like I was saying earlier, I tend to try and listen to a lot of other stuff as well, like samples. I'm trying to find. Like, I'll always be like just trying to find weird sounds and stuff. I'm so shit with names of tracks and stuff. But yeah, I think that's about it at the minute that I can think of. This is a tune called Escape Music with Manny's Finest, Black Josh, on Blur Records. It's on a CD drop called Blah Blah Black Josh. The tune's called Escape Music. There's a video as well. This girl called Vicky made it. She's also doing a documentary about Rodney P and a load of 80s guys called Under the Influence. It's dropping soon and it's sick. But yeah, I made it. I can't remember what the sample is, where the drums are from or the bass or anything. I made it ages ago on my MPC 2000. I made it by accident. I was trying to sample another part of the tune and I found this other bit. It's just literally like one bar, if that's like half a bar of like Rhodes keyboard, piano, and then there's a little vocal bit where she like goes or some shit. So I took that and then and it was like, I played it, and then I was like, oh, it sounds like it needs to loop a little bit at the end. And on the MPC 2000, there's this loop function you can do, and it never goes quite on point unless you real fuck with it for a long time. So I just did it off beat a little bit, and I had one of them pitched up, and then one of the sounds pitched down, and that was about it. Like I didn't really do too much to it. But yeah, Josh just smashed it on it as well. So yeah. This is just a beat, it's just an instrumental. Like, I mean, me, Stinking Slumrock and Bisque, we've got a little thing going called Swamp Harbour, and like pretty much just been trying to bang out beats for that and get stuff for them because they're killing it. So this is one of the beats I've done for that. I don't know if we're going to use it, but I just thought it'd be relevant for this. With this I just made all in Logic. It's all samples and stuff, but I've been messing with Logic a bit more. Just with the audio and stuff. I've been like Moriarty showed me how to use EXS a little bit. I'm still quite new to using Logic, so I'm getting a bit used to it. I still use this stuff, but when I ain't got much time, I'll just try and bang something out in Logic quick. And it's like some weird, like I found a load of some like horror sounds and shit, like horror soundtracks and stuff online somewhere. So I just downloaded them and I've been sort of messing with them to try and get some weird, like eerie shit. Yeah, that's pretty much shit, it just kind of loops like that. And the bass, I've been using like a lot more 808s and stuff. Like I never really messed with them too much. I've never been against them. Like I don't know how you could be against them anyway, but so I've been messing with a bit more like 808s. Like they sound a lot better when it's loud. I think a lot better, but they sound like they bang a bit more when it's louder. So I've been sort of layering them under kicks and like using them for it's not even a bass line, it's just sort of like bass drops that are in there. But yeah, and a little like weird horn over the hook and stuff. That's about it really for that one. Yeah, it's another tune for like the Swamp Harbour stuff with Bisque and Slumrock. Again, I don't know if this beat's going to get used, but I thought I'd show like some of that stuff that I've been doing as well. So yeah, it's more shit in a minute. But them two are killing it. Like if you ain't heard of Bisque or Slumrock, just fucking Google them. They're better than you. Yeah, again, it's like some weird like horror shit. Like longer intros, because like we're trying to do a bit like longer intros. When you do like a video or something, it's nice to do. Well, it depends if you're into it, but it's nice to do like some weird shit at the beginning or something. It's very rough mix though. It's not really mixed down too much. Again, with like the bass lines, I've just done like a few bass drops and stuff. Is that even a technical term for it? Just like an 808 and made it like slow down and shit. Yeah, that's kind of it for that one. It's just got some weird sounds in it. I'm getting a bit bored of like, well not bored, but like stages of like sampling and shit. So I've been, instead of just sort of looking for soul samples and stuff like that, I've just been like trying to sample shit that's not even music really. Although this has got some weird like horror soundtrack stuff in it. I'm trying to like layer shit so it's a bit more interesting than just drums and a sample and stuff. Not that that's not interesting, but it's just trying to do some other stuff at the minute. Yeah, that's about it for that one. This is Microphone Junkie with Stinking Slumrock. I think it's the first tune we did together. So yeah, this is like some sentimental shit. And he smashed it, like he always smashes it. He did a video a while ago for it. And yeah, it was like proper happy with it. It looked sick. But this one always goes off live as well, and we do like a live show. This one always smashes it. And Wipeout as well. All the tunes do, but like, I feel this is my favourite one to hear live that I've done with him. I can't remember, the sample was like, I think it was up to 7. My dad lives in France, so I go there like once a year. And there's like this flea market where like all the records are dirt cheap, and there was this 7 which had like some French woman on with like, she looked like she was dead. She looked a bit dead. She had like really short hair and was like, her face was all a bit loose and that. So, oh yeah, I'll get it. It was like 50 cents or something. And then yeah, I sampled that into the EPS. I did it all on the EPS, all the drums, everything. But yeah, it was another one where it was like I tried to do something else with it, and it ended up sounding completely different to what I had in my head, which is usually how all my beats go anyway. But yeah, like, and then there was some cuts on it at the beginning, which is from, I think it's a self-titled tune. My memory's shit. I think it's self-titled or Apathy, one of the two. But yeah, that's about it for that one. It's called Swamp Fruit, me and Bisque. Yeah, Bisk is like on another level with MC. He's crazy. Him and Slum work together so well. It's just, so this whole Swamp Harbour thing, I'm looking forward to it, man. But this was like, I can't remember how this came about. I think I just sent him the beat and he was like, yeah. But this is like a bait sample. It's off some old I don't even know what it's off again, but I know it's been used before, but I was like, I want to use it anyway. And the drums are some, I can't remember what the break was, it was like some Polish break. But yeah, Bisk kills it.
I'm that nigga that will fuck up your day. See, I came from the dirt with a bucket and spade. Stuck in my ways, pull it out, bucket and spray. Puffing on haze, oh what a wonderful day. Keep it sweet, don't fuck up the bass. Don't fuck up, be scared, get
yeah, we've got a few tunes done now, the Swamp Harbour thing, so I'm looking forward to putting it out there, but it's not going to come out for a while.
So
it's building, it's coming, it's all there.
I'm from the gutter, made a meal from a bit of supper. Bit of taste, don't play with my little brothers. Little shells catching case in another brother. Gritty souls getting chased by an undercover. First I make the wax, then I run the butter. Niggas talking rats, I still run the gutter. Underground, all the real dogs
everything's sort of like,
and the blind never see us when they come to
all the tunes we seem to be doing at the minute, there'll be like Swamp in the title, or there's like Swamp will be used in someone's lyrics or something. Alright, shouts to Maury as well. He's the one who did the filters on it, and I was like, yeah, we'll keep him in there. He sounds sick. The mental mind of Maury.
Chilling with the whole posse, no stopping. Fuck y'all, we go shopping. Pierce squadron, sipping on the beer, nodding. Niggas in the house with the blind flow. Still in my hood, but I peek through the eye holes. Hood rats going halves on the baby. I'm
but
from
yeah,
the dirt, heart hurts.
That's Bisk on that one. This is just some beat I made a while ago. I just put it on my SoundCloud. I rarely update my SoundCloud because I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna wait until it's a tune, or I'm just a bit shit with putting stuff up. That's me saying shit on there as well. I don't know what I'm saying. I can't remember what I was saying. I didn't want to do the whole like Sam Zircon beats. I was saying brain or something, like no brain. I don't know what that means. It sounds a bit like nothing's going on for me. I don't know what I'm saying. But yeah, I just put it up. I was like, I ain't put anything up in ages, so I just thought I'd put this one up. But the drums were like, I can't remember where the drums were from. The sample again was some weird, like, not even music shit. Apart from the piano. But yeah, that's about it, man. I'm gonna show you how I make a beat on the MPC 60 and the EPS 16 Plus. I use Logic as well. I've been using Logic a lot recently, but I thought it'd look a bit better if we use this stuff. But yeah, so I usually sample off records, but sample off MP3 as well. I don't really care as long as it sounds good and it's not a really shit quality. But yeah, so I sampled some bait drums, man. These drums, Isley Brothers ones. 2-pack. Yeah. So that's them. On there. So I'll chop them up using this, and it's like you can't really see any what's the word? Waveforms on it. It's just like numbers. So you have to sort of move this thing up and down, the slider up and down until you've got it in the right position, and then yeah, sort of go from there really. And then the sample is off another record, but I don't want to show you it because it's hard enough to find samples, so I'm going to be a chief about that one. But yeah, and then some bass, which I got just off Logic. It's just a normal Logic plugin, it's nothing special, but then I'll run it into the EPS, so it sounds a bit grittier because you've got the what's the word? You can change the sample rate on it. So you can either have it really, really like lo-fi, or you can have it CD quality. I kind of go in the middle. But yeah, I'll play it for you. So this is what I did. yeah, so what I do once I've sort of chopped everything up and I like the sounds I've got, which is quite a rare one, but it sounds a bit depressing, doesn't it? But yeah, once I got all the sounds chopped up, I separate them on the mixing desk so I can record them in individually, so then you can mix them down a bit nicer and do some effects if you want to and what have you. So I've got the hat is on channel 4 on that one there, and then I EQ it a bit, so I roll off all the low end, turn the high end up a bit, and then you've got the snare, which is on, where is it? This track here. It's all broken. I need to chop that a bit better actually, with a pop on it. Hold on. But yeah, that's what I mean about the slider, using it to sort of navigate to the sound you want it to play or whatever. So that's a bit too late. When you hit it, it plays a little bit later than it should. So then you slide it up and down until it's in the right position. Pause. Then you got the snare, yeah, snare's on there. I just sort of boosted the high a bit, kept the low end in because I like low end on snare. Not too much low end so it doesn't sound like a kick drum, but so it's got a bit of weight to it. And then the kick drum again on its own channel, so you can mess around with it later. With the kick drums, I roll off about what is it, like 1200 hertz or some shit. I'm not too good with the actual numbers and names of it, but it's around about sort of high mid of the sound. It sounds a bit boxy, so I roll that off a little bit and add a bit of high end on it. So yeah, that's just the drums on there. Oh wait, that's like really raw. Like there's no reverb or any compression done to it. That's just straight off the vinyl into the EPS. And I'm controlling the EPS with the 60. So the 60 is the sequencer and the EPS is the sampler at the minute. So this is controlling the sounds on here. So the sound is all out of here and the sequence is all on this. And yeah, with the actual sample, it was off some record I got in Berlin, some jazz shit. It's well cheap as well. It should be more than it was, but it's some weird stuff on it. But yeah, it was just I just sort of sampled the first 16 bars of it and then just chopped it up where I thought necessary, and this is what I got. Oh, it's not there. There we go. Load of that. Some other sounds I might put in a bit later, and then there's some little bits here I use for the hook. Where the hell are they gone? There we go. Some weird shit. And then that sound. And then again for the bass, I just used like just any bass preset in Logic. Is just like a whatever electric bass one in there, and sort of found a key just using the QWERTY keyboard, and then recorded it into here at a lower bit rate, so it's got a bit of like ring to it. It sounds a bit better. It's got a bit of Ringz Ov Saturn to it, so it sounds a bit nice and that. And then I put that on a separate channel in this, so again you can mess with it when it's recorded in and stuff. But that's that. And then yeah, this is all of it together. Sweet.